Hello and welcome back to another week with me. It's me, Kimmy. Welcome back to my channel. Hope you're having a good week. This week's video is brought to you by Nightmare Before Christmas. No, I'm just kidding. It's not sponsored. My niece a couple months ago had suggested that I do a Jack or Sally look, I think more around like Halloween time. So I kept trying to come up with ideas and like things that I could do that would be themed around Nightmare Before Christmas as far as like a makeup look was concerned. And so I didn't really think of anything during that time frame, but this is what I came up with as far as a Sally look. It's very intense. It's very colorful. I got a little nervous halfway through doing it, but I'm actually really happy with the way that it turned out. I feel like I'll just run to this grocery store really quick like this, you know? But yeah, so she had suggested that, and so I thought I would try to put something together that is Nightmare Before Christmas themed. And I thought I would also use this video as a good opportunity to kind of discuss a long-standing debate that we have with a lot of our friends and family on whether or not Nightmare Before Christmas is a Halloween movie or a Christmas movie. Like, when is the appropriate time to watch it? Obviously, if you love the movie, you can watch it whenever you want. But I get into further details in the video on when we think it's appropriate to watch it. You know what I mean? Because, you know, there's nothing better than debating with people on the internet. So I figured I would use this video as that opportunity. So yeah, I don't know. But if you want to see how I put together this look, and if you want to hear my thoughts and feelings on it, then just keep watching. All right. So when I think of Sally, I think of obviously like her patchwork dress. I think of her stitches. I think of big like doll eyes. And there's obviously 1,000,001 different like Sally inspired looks. So I'm just going to kind of play around and see what happens. I'm going to start off with a tried and true Norvina ABH. This is the volume 3 palette. And I'm going to do the B2 shade in the middle throughout my crease. I buffed out quite a bit at first to get that kind of blown out transition shade, and then I'm kind of going back in just in like certain areas and just like packing the color on and then slowly buffing it out just because I want some areas to have, excuse me sir, I want it to be pretty pigmented in the crease, whereas like usually in the crease I would want it to be more blown out and soft and just like an easy transition. I actually kind of want it to be pretty bold, I think. Now I'm thinking I kind of want to cut the crease just a little bit just to kind of get, because I have an idea for like the inner corner area. So I'm going to do that really quick, probably off camera because it takes forever. But to cut a crease, I suggest using like a concealer or a primer. I always use the Anastasia primer because it's super brightening. And so I'm going to go in and do that real quick with just like a flat concealer brush. I have pretty hooded eyes, so usually what I'll do is I'll kind of lay quite a bit like on my lash line and then kind of roll my eyes and look really weird for a moment. And then it'll transfer up a little bit further, and so you can see where that would be, where my, like, you'll be able to see that with my eye open. And so I'm gonna go in and just do that on both eyes really quick.
A few moments later.
I think I'm gonna go over it with some yellow. So I'm just gonna take like a flat-headed brush. I think I'm gonna start with the A3, A1, I don't know, the yellow shade in this other Norvina palette, since it's a little bit more of like a pale yellow. And I'm just gonna kind of pack it onto my brush and place it where I placed that primer. And I'm just gonna kind of press it on at first. actually gonna take like a little baby crease brush, like just a little one. I think I'm gonna go in with kind of a burgundy tone on the outer corner. Just follow me. We'll see how this turns out. I think I'm gonna do this shade from that Stay Beach palette. I think it's C1, C3, something like that. So let's get into it. Let's talk about it. Nightmare Before Christmas. Is it a Christmas movie or is it a Halloween movie? Some will argue both, and I could see that. But a lot of people start watching the movie in October or like the beginning of October, and I don't really understand that. Like, everybody to each their own, you know? But everybody's like, oh yeah, it's a Halloween movie. And our response to that is, it's Halloween for like the first song. And then after that, everything is about making Christmas. So I get that he is the Pumpkin King, but literally the whole movie is about making Christmas. You know? We have Nightmare Before Christmas ornaments. But I mean, I guess I could also just throw the same shade at like Disney, because they, you know, Disneyland, this dog's just gonna be here for this video. Obviously Disney does their Haunted Mansion holiday takeover, and they usually start that in like September, and they have it ready for the Halloween season. So I guess, like, I mean, I don't know. We just feel very strongly that it is a Christmas film. I feel like now is like the appropriate time to watch it, or like, you know, 11:59, 11:58 on Halloween night, because then it rolls over into November. Yeah, I don't know, man. I feel like it's a heavy topic. It's a big debatable topic. Sound off in the comments below. This is very like going 80s with this. This is like intense. But the trick with playing with a ton of colors on your eyes is to use kind of small and precise brushes. That way it doesn't go everywhere. And I'm keeping this kind of winged out because I'm not sure what I'm going to do just yet. If I want to buff it out and make it like smokier, I might, but for now. This in one of my previous videos, that over Thanksgiving or like over throughout the month of November, we do movies we're thankful for. And I mean, it's a lot of movies that we saw when we first started dating, so we have like that nostalgia, or like movies that we grew up loving, or that now it's kind of evolved into just movies that we love. Like, so a lot of movies that we watched at the beginning of quarantine we're kind of rewatching, but we did an entire MCU rewatch last week, because Disney Plus has it in chronological order, and we've always just watched it in the order that the movies would come out. And now, like, so watching it in chronological order was pretty trippy, but it was fun. It hits like way different if like you've watched them all back to back to back. Like, obviously we were so invested in those movies like every year that they would come out, but watching them all in a row like that, oof, I cried a lot. where I want to stop, at least for now, for the upper portion of my eyes. I'm going to go ahead and do my mascara and tight line really quick off camera, and then I'll see what else I want to do. BRB. Alright, so I put a little bit of mascara on and I tight lined my eyes in, and I also put just like a thin line of liquid liner on top. So I think I'm going to try to do like a graphic line to kind of mimic her stitches. It's just going to be tricky with my eye shape, so I've got to try to figure out how I want to do it. Okay. Kind of looks like a reaper. Alright, so let's see if I can do this on the other side. Shouldn't have had coffee today.
One eternity later.
So they're not crazy even, which is fine because I'm doing an inspired look, obviously, and I feel like with her stitches, they're kind of, you know, like they're not even or like perfect. So let's see. Tip if you're wanting to do a graphic liner is don't have your coffee and just like constant anxiety all the time, and that will help get a smoother line. Also just using your support. So if you see me, like I bent down and like you essentially rested myself on my knees, that's a good way to do it. You can do it with a countertop or your mirror if like you're holding like up against, and that way it'll steady your hand a little bit. So now it just looks like they meant to be shaky, right? Right? We're just having fun with it. We're having fun with it. I expect all of you to wear this look out and about on a daily basis. So I'm gonna try, I think I'm gonna do a bit of the blue under my eye, and then we'll see what I decide to do with that as well. So I'm gonna take some of the blue on just like an angled brush and start to run that under my eye. And I'm gonna go pretty far down with it, like past my creases, I think. I'll take a little more of the blue on that same angled brush and kind of go back over the areas up top just so it's kind of married together with the lower lash line. I actually don't mind it. I'm actually into it. The sun is changing, so the sun is probably shining directly on me now. Do I look like a parrot? Kind of. But I like it. So, proof in the pudding, you can play with color, and like there aren't really rules or regulations, you know what I mean? I think I'm just gonna go in with one of these Dior lip colors. I actually like these guys a lot. You know me, I love a stain. This is one of their like lacquers, and I like it because it goes on really shiny at first, and then as the shine wears away, the color is still there. The color is perfect. It complements like the kind of purpley tone. This is the shade 327 in the Dior if you're interested. But yeah, this is a lot of fun to create. Thank you again to Jordan for giving me the idea and making me step out of my comfort zone. I appreciate it. You're the best niece in the world. I had a lot of fun trying to come up with something Sally inspired. But if you have any ideas for next week's video, I can start coming up with holiday inspired looks. Like if you are having your holiday parties at home and what do you want to do to kind of feel festive and celebrate, I can kind of come up with some stuff like that. I wish I had horns or something because I feel like I would want to come up with like a Krampus look. That'd be fun. Who knows? But anyways, I hope you guys are staying safe and healthy and doing everything you can for your mental health to keep you happy. And yeah, now is the appropriate time to watch Nightmare Before Christmas. Thanks again for tuning in to another video this week. I really appreciate it. And I hope you have a good rest of your week. And I will see you next week. Happy Turkey Day! Gobble, 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 gobble. Tofurkey Day in my house. Tofurkey. Seriously, just look up a turkey running and it's the cutest thing ever. I don't understand why anybody would eat them. Just saying. Second most controversial thing I said in this video.